All right, and we are live. Here's our workout plan for today. We got to get a new marker. It's a little bit light, so apologies ahead of time for that. But we applied some heavy filtering to the photo in our feed, so you can probably read that a little bit better than this. But if you're watching it on YouTube, we'll see if this is any good. And then real quick, we tested this all day, but can someone let me know if the audio is like good or if there's a lot of static today? We're doing another round with the microphone to see if that works out again. So is that sounding okay? All right, well, we'll find out, I guess. Somebody will say something. All right, so I'm here. Thanks, Peregrine. All right, great. Cool. Should keep up. So I'm here with Coach Anna. Hey, everybody.
Hi. Let's see here. Yes, I'm Coach Anna at the Center for Blade Arts. Welcome to fencing class today. So if you saw the whiteboard, the marker's kind of dying, so it doesn't have quite all the things. So later on, you can go get this now and skip some of the fun stuff. You're gonna need your sword or a stick to be your proxy sword, a glove. It could be a gardening glove, a winter glove. Just have a glove so it's kind of like you're doing fencing things. And then something that you can hit with your stick or sword thing. So we dug out the heavy bag here, and I'm gonna use that as my target today. You could grab a pillow, rig it up to your height. If you did a target ball, that will work okay for some of it. If you're an épée fencer and you wanna practice different target heights, one ball might not fill your need to hit multiple targets, so grab a shoe or something else to be your alternate target, or multiple pillows. You can stuff your fencing jacket full of stuff, put your mask on it, put it on a couch or a chair, and it can just be a short, kind of lazy fencer full of stuffing.
If you haven't washed your whites since the last time you trained, don't put it on the couch pillows. You know.
You could put a towel down to protect the couch. And if you're a small person and the couch does not belong to you, ask the owner of the couch before you decide to stab it with a stick or a sword or whatever. Sometimes swords have rust on them and they will leave marks on fabric. So, stuff you might need for later. If you don't have a thing to hit, you can just do the footwork and the blade work and use your imagination to pretend that you're hitting, but it's a little bit more fun to hit stuff and get that feedback that you're hitting on the target. All right, so we're gonna start our warm-up today. We're gonna do jumping jacks. We've got shuffles. So we're gonna do 2 foot, just in and out. Get a little twist in your hips. And then we've got shuffle, shuffle, squat, low and slow down, quick up, shuffle, shuffle, squat. You can change the intensity of this one. You could make it a skip, do your squat. You could make it a jump squat, sort of your choice. We're gonna do 30 seconds on each of those. And then we're gonna add a stretch. So there was like a list of stretches. So we'll do 30 seconds or maybe longer of those because we have to do both sides. But we'll do 5 circuits. So it'll just be a different stretch on the end of each one. So think of your stretch as your little recovery period and also your fun stretch. So let's see here. Your order again, jumping jacks, 2 foot shuffle, twist, and then you've got your step or shuffle, shuffle, squat. And you just go back and forth on that so you don't use up too much space. Wipe off your shoes, get your 30 seconds on your timer, and let's go, round 1. If you want to be fancy, you can mix up what kind of jumping jacks you'd use. I'm just going to use regular boring ones. Vanilla jumping jacks. If you like a little spice, you can add a clap. You can do something silly with your feet. But it's not required if you like to be boring. Let's do your hips and 2-foot hop. Get your dance hands on. And I forgot to hit start, so I'll switch to the next thing. This time I hit start. Shuffle, squat. All right, first stretch is a lunge and arm circles together. So you're just gonna find a regular lunge, not a fencing lunge. Step it out, stretch that back calf, and while we're here, we're gonna take one arm, then the other. I'm gonna do 10 arm circles total. And then I'm gonna switch to the other side. Stretch that back calf out. All right, back to the first side. This time I'm going to take my arms forward. 2, 3, 4. Switch. Forward. Shake it out. If you need water, make sure you're grabbing it between rounds, that's fine. If you don't need water, it's also fine. All right, back to your timer, back to jumping jacks. If you're in a slippery place, make sure you de-slipify your shoes. Here we go. If you're new to joining us, and you need to take it a little bit easier, you could do taps with your feet, or you could just drop the arms to dial the intensity in to wherever you're at. All right, switch to that twist, and then on this time. Switch. You've got the step squat or shuffle squat, whatever you want to call it, and take it to 2-step squat. I started the timer now, so you got a little extra credit. All right, our next stretch is, this one. So we're gonna keep our hips starting forward. We're gonna take one foot, cross it over, and we're gonna take our other hand, stretch to the side. We're gonna do both sides, so don't worry if you started on the other. We're gonna hold, stretch it up. Oh, keep that foot there. Stretch to the other side. Good. And we're gonna roll it over and stretch down. If you can't go all the way to the ground, that's totally fine. Only go as far as you can go. And take it up. Open wide. Shake it out. Start the other foot. Switch it over. Go to one side. You can pick the side you want to start. And wide. Other side. I can tell I did stuff on the side today. Open wide. And hang it low.
You training with Sabertooth?
Yep, and I did that this morning, bright and early at 8 a.m. And back up. Good. All right, we're on to round 3. Back to our jumping jacks. The next stretch we've got are the sweeps that we've done. They're Tyler favorite, so I know that we've all done these before. All right, here we go for our jumping jacks. And go. Again, you can make it silly, but also change the intensity. You can take it down. Whatever you're at today, just get those 30 seconds in and keep moving. All right, we got twists. If you need to dial down the twist, don't jump quite as much. You could even just tap to do your twisting motion. So, start, jump, jump. Again, you can dial it down by twisting with the tap. Or take it up with a bounce. One, and reset. We're on to those squats. All right. Step, step, slow and up, step, step, slow and up. All right, next stretch is those sweeps. So again, a coach favorite. I think all the coaches have done these at one point. So you're gonna start hips facing forward, one foot out. I like to do zombie arms in front, sit back, hinge at the waist, sweep it up, bring those hips back up. Take it down, sweep, back to your zombie arms. Sit it down, sweep, sit it down, sweep. One more on this side. Sit it down, sweep. Good. Shake it up, switch sides, arms out, sit it back, sweep. I'm just doing 5 on each side, then I'll go back and do them one more time. 2, 4, 5, Shake it out. And I think I'll do one more set of them, because I like that one on my calves. Felt good. And Coach Tyler likes to change it to hit some different muscles, but I really like the calf part, so that's what I'm going for. Sit it down, sweep. Sit it down, sweep. Sit it down, sweep. Sit it down, sweep. 2 more. All right, switch sides. 5 on this side. We've got another round of our jumping jack. Bouncy combination. Sit it down. Sit it down. Up. Sit it down. Up. Sit it down. Up. Good. All right. Back to those jumping jacks. The stretch we've got next. Oh, lazy crane. Or the hip circle stretch, however your coach likes to call it. Here in Epic class, we call it lazy crane. So here we go. Timer's ready. And jumping jacks. And I'm just randomly counting to myself. If you see my lips moving, that's my thing to do while I'm doing time mix. All right, reset your clock, twist, and here we go. Again, you could take it slower if you're getting tired, or if twisting is new to you, that's fine. Or if you're raring to go, you can keep bouncing. Bounce. If you ate a lot of Easter candy, burn off some of that extra energy. And 30 seconds, reset your clock. We've got squats with the side shuffle, or just the double step. Oh, sorry guys, forgot the timer. I'm the worst.
Extra credit.
Extra credit. You almost think I did that on purpose, because I like extra credit. All right, we've got our lazy crane. All right, lazy crane. We're gonna go, it's that hip circle stretch. You start with our hips and knees facing forward. Just bring it in, open it to the side. And we'll rotate on this one. I'm gonna do about 10 total, I think.
Beth says, forgot. Sure.
Exactly, I forgot to hit that button. No, it's because I'm talking, and if I talk, I can't also count at the same time. Or remember to hit buttons, apparently. All right, I'm gonna switch to do the opposite direction. So, bring it in. Oh, got a little wobbly, reset. Here you go. You're stepping over some imaginary thing. If you got the space, you can travel while you're doing it. Good. All right, So from here, we're gonna take 30 seconds-ish while I reset this thing. Oops, my bad. This is where you want to grab your drink of water, and you're going to get your glove on and your sword. I'm going to be a good role model and actually drink water and not just tell you to do it. Look at this, water, it's hydrating. Yummy. All right, so again, you want your stick or your sword. If you've got a glove, that's awesome too. I'm gonna get my glove, and I'll start with our stick. Let's see, I was here, what, Saturday was my last time I was doing this. So Saturday we did a lot of arm and hand things. So I'm gonna keep that going and make your arms nice and tired with all of these thrusts that we're gonna do today. So we're gonna start off with a little bit of shoulder and finger drills that you can do. And if you've got a pencil that you use while you're doing schoolwork or while you're working from home, you could do some of these with just a pencil and use your fingers to make it go up and down. If you've got a broom while you're sweeping, you could do that, the shoulder drill. So I'm gonna start here. I'm stealing this one from Tyler. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago? So I'm just gonna hold it out in front. I'm gonna modify it a little bit. So I'm gonna take one hand all the way up, go back as far as I can, and around. So I'm just gonna try and keep my arms as straight as I can, going around. And I'm gonna do, I don't know, 8 or 10 going one direction. And then the same, I'll switch directions and go the other way. All right, I'm switching directions. And you didn't actually need your glove for this part, but if you're holding a stick or something that's slivery, maybe you wanted a glove or 2 gloves. Your choice on the stick-like object that you're holding, or if you're using your sword. Good, all right. Just gonna take my sword arm, do some wrist twists. And I'm just gonna do both hands for balance while I'm doing this. Maybe I'll become ambidextrous during our COVID break as my extra hobby. All right, then I'm gonna use my sword hand and just gonna do, you know, whatever you wanna call it. I've heard it called the finger crawl. You can call it inchworm. All right, and then I'm gonna go the other way. This is the harder way for me. But again, you could even do this with a pencil or a pen or a ruler. Or if you have a bunch of dry erase markers, you could stick them all together and make a long dry erase marker stick and do that. It's actually easier because they're slippery. All right, and then I'm gonna go back the other way. I'm gonna really try and make sure I use all my fingers and not let gravity help me and cheat, but it's hard not to let gravity help. If you have a really, really hard time going the other way and you need that gravity assist, you can flip it over and just get an extra round in that way. And if you're using your sword, it's a little bit more challenging because the weight's not evenly distributed because of the guard. Good. All right, so we're gonna shake our arms out. We're gonna move to doing our blade work and footwork together today. So here's where you want whatever you're gonna use as your sword. I'm gonna use my actual sword today, and I won't break the timer. And like I said, we're gonna do a lot of things with our arm today. If your arm gets tired and you cannot continue on, give it a break, shake it out. You can jump back in later if you need to, or come back to this and finish the rest of it later. So we're gonna do a lot of thrusts. We're gonna work on our muscle memory. A lot of times when we're fencing, just to get our points in, maybe we don't do things as technically nice as we would like. So we're gonna work on that muscle memory, so when you're out there doing what you need to do, it just happens for you. So we're gonna deconstruct lots of things and really work on getting that thrust in at different places in our advances and our lunges. So we're gonna start off with a simple advance. You're gonna find your on guard. And everything we start with today, we're gonna start with our thrust first. To do our footwork with about 10, or you can add more reps if you want. And then we'll add our thrust to a more realistic place later, because usually we don't walk and fence like this. You can, but we don't usually do that. So I'm gonna find my hitting distance, good, and take one step back. So here's my thrust. I'm gonna aim, advance and hit. This should feel really nice because you're gonna hit right where you're looking for your spot. Thrust, hit. Thrust, hit. Good, all right, so we did about 10 there with just our thrust, then our advance. So now we're just gonna do our advance and our thrust at the same time. And again, we're gonna do about 10. If you're at home, you can add more. We're gonna add, change that place up where that thrust happens. So here we go, thrust hit, thrust hit. All right, I did about 15. If you find, as you're doing any of these, you can always go back to the last one. If you find, well, suddenly I'm not hitting where I thought I should hit anymore. So the one before it, if that's where you were being successful, you can go back to that one, get some more reps there, and then try again. All right, so we're gonna make this more fun. Oh, I'm gonna move stuff out of the way. Make sure that the sides of your hitting target are free of obstacles. You'll notice in my target, I added this like little ball as my mock foot. If you're an épée fencer, it's nice to have something to do as a different target, because you can go back and do the same thing. Just change your target or change the line that you're hitting in, just to make a different variation on this. So again, we're still doing advanced thrust to hit, but we're gonna add to it with our advanced thrust and step in and just get another one. So that's just like walking, right? Advanced thrust, walk, and hit again. advance thrust, and hit again. Oh, I missed that one. Good thing I'm gonna do at least 10, right? Advance thrust, remains. That time I started a little too close to my target. I can reset my distance. Oh. Got a little awkward there. All right, so this time I'm just gonna see if I can hit 3 times. I'm still gonna keep that nice advanced thrust. There's my first one, and see if I can get another one in. If you're more advanced and you have the space, you can run past your fake target person, but I won't assume we have all that much space. Some ways you can add to this. I've been going for about the same spot every time, but you could change your target area if you're an épée fencer. You could change the line if you're a foil fencer.
How would a saber fencer do stuff like this?
Ooh, Tyler. You know, I'm not totally sure, Tyler. Do you have any tips for our saber fencers if they want to be as cool as a crazy foil fencer and hit all the targets?
Sure. I just say do 2 cuts in a row.
2 cuts.
Don't worry
like
about close. Yeah, cut and then maybe parry cut. But don't worry about closing in to really, really close distance. That's almost always a bad idea in saber. So don't worry too much about that last step. Just do a second cut. Just imagine you got parried and then go again.
Or again, if that doesn't quite work for you with the weapon differences, you can always go back to the spot where it still makes sense for you. So an advance cut can still work for you, or an advance cut and a change of line. Just take it back to the step that works for you. So let's see. Again, other variations, you could do that advance thrust to a different target, low, change it. But those are some of your advanced options. All right, so what about with our lunge? So again, we're gonna start everything back with our deconstructed lunge. So I'm gonna find my lunging distance, recover, and again, this is the place to start if you're a beginning fencer or if you're having trouble getting your point on target for anything else. So start with your thrust, lunge, recover, recover your arm, thrust, lunge, recover the feet, recover the arm. I'm going to take a little step back. Good. All right, so again, usually we don't hang out there saying, hey, I'm gonna come lunge, and then lunge. So we're gonna change where we add that thrust. So this time we'll just thrust lunge at the same time. This will flip. Reset your distance if you need to, and lunge. Good. All right. So I'm going to go back and do a couple of things just to like let my arm relax a little bit. So we'll go back to those finger and shoulder exercises. So we did our thrust, then our lunge, then we did our lunge and thrust at the same time. So now we're going to do our, let's see what's next on my list. Oh, we're gonna do a forward recovery for our extra remise. Again, if you're not feeling that forward recovery, stick it with the lunges. You could do that too. We're gonna do advanced lunge combinations as our last one. So wherever you're at, if your arm's getting tired or your point control's going, again, take it back one step. So here we've got our lunge. Oh, make sure your distance is right. We're gonna forward recover. And I'm gonna hit the same spot again as my first one. So I've got my hit, recover, hit. 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 Oh, and that one was off. So I'm gonna take it a little slower. Hit, recover, hit. Hit, recover, hit. Hit, recover, hit. All right, so after you've gotten some to the same line with the same target, you could change the target or line. So you could go do your first one high, second one low. You could switch and just start low, high. If you're an épée fencer, you could drop it to the toe. But we're still gonna do hit, recover, hit. So hit, recover, hit. I added a little extra step there. Also fine. Hit, recover, hit. Hit, recover, hit. You can kind of see which one I'm ready to keep going on to. Hit, recover, hit. Let's take it a little slower. Hit, hit, hit. All right, so you can see my front foot's ready to go, so I'm gonna add my extra one in. Again, if you're not ready to move on, stick with the last one. You can stick with the lunges and keep focusing on that thrust, getting it out there, having a really nice thrust position, because that's where all of our hits come from. All right, so this one, we've got 3 hits. Last time we had hit, recover, hit. We're gonna add in that extra one. So lunge, recover, hit, step through. Again, if you've got the space and you want to, you could run right past your opponent. So hit, recover, hit, step through. You want to make a challenge, you can add extra hits as you go along. Hit, recover, hit, change line. Hit, recover, hit. You can go back a step. Just do your lunge. Especially if you started to lose your point control, go back that one step, then add the next one back in. All right, so the last one I've got is advanced lunge, and we'll stop there. Again, any of these you can add a lot of variations and combinations to, but start with the simplest part of the motion. So if you break it down, what are you going to hit with a lunge? There's a thrust in there and there's a lunge. So you can go back to the 2 pieces, get your muscle memory for those, then change the combination of where the thrust happens in your lunge or which step it happens on in your advance. So our advanced lunge, Again, thrust, advance, lunge. When you step back, make sure you're still using your nice retreats so you end up not having to adjust your distance a lot. Thrust, advance, lunge. Thrust, advance, lunge. Oh, I cheated. All right, so the last one was our next one. Instead of doing the thrust, then the advance, then the lunge, we're gonna do our advance, thrust on our back foot, and lunge into it. All right, so where else can we add that thrust? We did our thrust on the back foot. Let's stick it right with the lunge. So we do our advance, lunge at the same time. So we're just building up to those remises that we wanted to do before. If you don't like those, take it back to a simpler step. That's where you're at. Especially if you start losing your point control. All right, advance. All right, so from here, any of those remises that we did in the last ones, you can add to the end of this. So I'm just gonna do some free ones. You can do what works for you. I'm gonna do 10 with some extra remises, and then we'll move on to the last little fun part to end class today. So again, these are free ones, up to you. You can go back to just the thrust, just the lunge, advanced thrust. You could add some hopping in, then do your thrust, but last 10 are free for you. If you've got a fancy move, this is your chance to break it out. Change that first one to a different target. All right, that's my last one. So for our last thing, I've got a little coordination thing. So we did this before, I don't know, the first or second time I did one of these. So some people call it the cheerleader thing. So we've done it like this, where we add arms, and then we did different feet patterns. This time we're gonna do it in reverse. We're gonna pick a couple of foot patterns, and we're gonna add an arm pattern. So I've changed it, it's not the same arm pattern as before. That's the fun thing. If you need a challenge, you can make your own new arm pattern every time. So this time I think I wrote down Okay. We've got out, out, in, so single arms in both. Crisscross, up, up, down. So this time we're adding in a spot where you have to do both arms individually, coordinate them together, and we'll do that with feet. So if you're here at the beginning of the live stream, we had like a twist motion with your feet. You can either use the twist motion, or you could give yourself a little shuffle step here, wherever you're at. So find the footwork that you're going to use. You could do twist if you want to do both feet together, or shuffle. All right. Once you've figured out what footwork you're going to use, we're going to add those arms. So let's do the arms together, then we'll add it to the feet. For a fun coordination thing, if you have a roommate or someone who lives with you, tell them to get their camera out so they can have blackmail forever. Or maybe it looks super awesome. Next time we do this, I promise I will bring my pom-poms and you guys can see those. All right, so remember our arms are gonna go out, out, in, crisscross, up, up, down. Out, out, in, crisscross, 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 up, down. All right, hopefully everyone got the pattern. Pick your foot, get your feet going. I'm gonna use my twist to make it hard for the singles. All right. It's hard. Let's see if I can do it and say it at the same time for you. Out, out, in, crisscross, up, down. Out, out, in, crisscross, up, down. I lost my feet there. So extra silly. All right, give yourself a little, shake it off. Think about it. Let's do the arms by themselves again. You can slow it down with your feet, just make them move. And out, out, in, crisscross, up, down. All right. One last time. See if you can get that bouncy step you had before. Let's see if we can get that arm pattern 3 times in a row-ish. Okay, say it to yourself in your head. If you want to count it out, you can count it out to a count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you like that, you can cheat a little bit. All right, find your feet. Out, out, in, crisscross, up, down. Out, out, in, crisscross, up, down. Out, out, in, crisscross, up, down. Almost. I really wanted to do this and then that. So, again, that's all I've got for you today. Hope you had fun. Hope you got to hit something and remember the joy of stabbing or cutting something. I miss stabbing people. So, it's not quite a person. You could put a picture of your most favorite person to stab on your target so you can remember them. But until next time, I think Coach Alex is here tomorrow and I'll be back Saturday. So, attention positions, salute, and see you next time.